Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to respected judges, honorable lecturers, and my fellow friends. So before we begin, I want you guys to think about how do we feel right now. In every big moment before we take action, we often feel our hearts beating faster. Actually, this is a very common human feeling. It's normal experience that connects all of us before we try something new. So, have you ever questioned yourself? Have you ever felt so afraid to try something new? To give a presentation, to speak up in class, or even to stand in front of a crowd? Well, according to Guy Evans 2023, fear is something every single one of us experience at some point in our life. Or sometimes we think of fear as something bad that limits our potential to shine. But however, according to Gibson 2024, fear is not inherently negative. Fear is natural, it is normal, and it is part of our life. And in fact, fear is the exact thing that can help us grow and keep us moving forward. So we should not see fear as a wall that stops us. Instead, we can think of it as a guide. When a captain sails a ship into dangerous or unknown waters, the big wave and heavy fog do not mean they should turn around. Instead, it proves that the ship is leaving the safe harbor and moving toward exciting new places. Well, fear is just our inner alarm system telling us that we are leaving our comfort zone and starting a journey that is truly important. So today, I am going to talk about how we can overcome that very fear and turn obstacles into opportunities. So to do this, we need to change how we look at the difficulties in our life. So if we always wait for the perfect weather, we will never leave the shore. First, we need to understand that fear is not our enemy. Instead, it is only when we allow it to control our thoughts and influence our decision. And then it becomes the barrier that's stopping us from growing. So I learned this lesson myself. So back when I was in high school, the thought of standing and talking alone in front of large group terrified me. However, I learned to walk out of my comfort zone and accepted every offer and opportunities that came my way without letting my mind overthink and feel scared. And guess what? Thanks to the determination I set, so I still have room to grow. I can now stand here, deliver my speech to every single one of you. And that when I realized something. Successful people who achieve great things in their life are not the one who never feel fear. They are the one who refuse to let fear stop them. So think about the time when fear makes you feel dry and your mind goes completely blank. The easiest choice when we are alone is to step back, stay quiet, hide away so that nobody can judge us. But if we only choose comfort, we will never improve. So a brave person is not actually someone who feels nothing at all. A brave person is someone who feels their heart pounding fast, but they still choose to move forward and speak anyway. So fear, although challenging to overcome, it matters because it allows us to start beyond our limitations and overcoming each obstacle despite feeling afraid. And that is what builds one's success. So fear might make the road ahead seem filled with doubt, hesitation, and challenges. However, challenges and opportunities are two sides of the same coin by Foster Capital 2025. So imagine holding that coin in your hand. You cannot have a coin with only one side, do you? If you try to cut out and get rid of the challenge side, you will destroy the opportunity side too. Well, they belong together. To find success in your life, you must accept both sides of the coin. So every challenge teaches us something. So we need to overcome it to unlock our potential. If we choose to avoid every challenge because of fear, we also avoid the very opportunity that can strengthen our confidence and discover abilities we might never knew we had. So, behind every fear we had is opportunity. Opportunity to learn, opportunity to improve, and opportunity to grow. So, from now on, change your opinion. Fear is not something to avoid. Instead, it is something to be faced with courage. Fear makes us stronger, wiser, and resilient. Fear is not a limitation, but a stepping stone towards success. So the next time fear stands before you, do not see it as a stop sign, but see it as a doorway to growth. Okay, so picture that doorway clearly in your mind. It might look heavy, dark, and scary, but you might want to turn around and run back to that safe place you already know. But if you never turn the handle and if you never push that door open, you will stay trapped in this same small room forever. Therefore, we must take steps to overcome fear by changing our mindset. So according to Christopher 2023, our mindset determines whether we see challenges as obstacles or opportunities for growth. So many of us actually take a step back because we are afraid of failure, making mistakes and embarrassing ourselves. Instead of overtaking and fearing something that even not has happened yet, we should see failure as a lesson, not an ending. So, according to Spring, we learn more from our failure than from our successes. So every mistake we did teaches us something, and every lesson we learn help us to grow. And all these lessons are not waste of time. They become another step towards personal growth. Think about how a blacksmith works with the metal. Hard iron cannot become strong, useful tool if it stays cool and untouched. It must be put directly into a hot fire. It must be hit many times with a heavy hammer. The fire and the hammer are not trying to destroy the metal. They are making it stronger and better. Our failure and mistake are like that fire and hammer. They shape our character until we are strong and ready for anything. Then we can start small by accepting the small challenges we face, continuing with courage in being able to slowly go beyond the the line we set can progressively enhance our confidence level. For example, just try to speak up in class, be thoroughly prepared for public speaking, and initiate ideas in group discussions. So confidence indeed is not built overnight. It grows through consistent courage and perseverance. Think about how a runner builds body muscles. They do not go to gym on their first day and try to lift a very heavy weight. If they did, they will hurt themselves and stop. Well, instead, they start with a small weight that is safe but still a little difficult. Day after day, week after week, they add a little more weight. Every time you complete a new project, share an idea, and practice your speaking skill, you are lifting a small weight. You are training your courage muscle for the bigger challenges in life. So most importantly, we have to remain persistent and never ever give up to overcome fear. We need to understand that even when trying our best, We can still make mistakes. We can still fail to achieve our goal. But bear in mind that every mistake we did is a lesson. Every rejection can be a chance to improve. Every underperformance can help you fix what you lack. And every comparison motivate you to be the best. So all of our attempts to overcome fear will eventually lead to success. Thus, don't you think giving up should be an option? So when a young child is learning to walk, they fall down so many times. They hit the floor, but they do not stay down. No parent looks at a falling child and says, well, maybe walking is not for you. But instead, we encourage them to stand up again because we know that failing is a normal part of learning to walk. As we grow older, we sometimes forget this simple truth. We expect ourselves to be perfect on our very first try. And if we make a mistake, we feel bad. We need to have that same determination as a child. We must realize that every single mistake is just a sign that we are trying to lift ourselves up. So do not fear fear. Fear creates challenges, and that challenges can create opportunities. And the opportunities then lead you to success. So there is a very beautiful and connected chain. You cannot remove the first part without breaking up the whole structure. If you remove fear completely, you lose the very thing that started the whole journey. So in conclusion, fear is not something we should avoid, we should run from. Instead, it is something we have to face with courage. Remember, fear is natural. Admitting and being prepared to overcome fear does not make us a step behind, but step to success. So let us see fear in the bright light and turn it something positive that can advantage towards our personal growth. After all, the greatest opportunity often lies just beyond the fears we choose to overcome. And that is all from me. Thank you.